Hey everybody, Shark Scrappers. So it's time to get to the power boxes that were in each one of the server racks, computer racks from the traffic management system. This is one complete unit. It has both of the modules. So let's go ahead and dive in and see what we're going to get out of this. All right, we have some unscrewing to do. Fortunately, these are just Phillips heads. This appears to be a holding bracket. Let's see. Oh, yeah. All right, that's one. Let's see here. Get this bracket off of this, I guess. We'll see. Oh, interesting. All right, we have a power board in here. Pretty good sized power board, but it's got some nice components on it. We'll take a closer look here in just a minute. Now we've been getting some real nice chunks of sheet steel, good weight to them. When it's time to scrap them, we'll get some decent money out of that. Yeah. And these fans are very nice because these are aluminum housings. The only rub I'm having, I've got to figure this out. The screws are behind this elbow. They must have had a very small bit that went in to screw those in because here, I'll show you. A standard bit does not do the job. They have these little metal clamps, but this screwdriver will not go in that hole. And if you go in at an angle, you just kind of, dork things up. So I have to figure out how I want to approach that. Because I don't want to leave those fans on. That's aluminum housing, so there's some value there once I figure out how to get those on. And this is not stainless, unfortunately. Right. Now then, this is an interesting board here. So we have this sort of backplane for the power board. These are gold-plated pins. And then there's the tin silver tracing on here. These pins here are stainless steel, and they come out pretty easily. Just pop right out. So, mid-grade at least for my yard. Chris might take this as peripheral low because it's got these gold-plated pins, but it doesn't have any real components on it. So, I'm thinking mid-grade. This power board, two big chunky capacitors, and I know that some folks like to open those up, get the aluminum out of them. I don't mess with that. We've got 2 big transformers that can go as motors, copper bearing motors. Big aluminum heatsink here. And 1, 2, 3, 4 transistors. Nice big chunkies and aluminum heat sinks on them. Over here we have some more capacitors. Another transistor. Just trying to confirm that with a symbol, but these symbols are not terribly, they're not all here. Or if they are, they're just not clear. But this is a capacitor, so I bet you this is an old style tantalum capacitor here, C1. And then we've got some more oscillators, some more tantalum dip capacitors. I'll bet you that's another old tantalum type capacitor. Bunch of resistors and such, diodes and such, some IC chips. So, you know, it's a well-populated power board. My approach to this, because you can't really justify going mid-grade, and most yards they'll see this color, this clear board, and they'll say, yeah, it's, you know, mid to low at best. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and pull the stuff that I think I can get some value out of, like maybe the tantalums and the ICs, and then chuck the rest in with my low grade. Oh, hey, Ian, there's a nice big fuse for you. You want it? Well, that came off real nice and easy. I tell you, if my shop teacher, he'd be rolling over in his grave. The things I do to my tools that violate every principle of what we were taught in shop class. All right, so there's the motors. We'll get the wires cut off, electric motors. Got some nice aluminum heat sinks with those. And let's see what we gotta do about that big old aluminum heatsink there. Combination of aluminum and ferrous, so I'll throw that in with my breakage. So, same situation here. We got a bunch of screws on the plate holding the box together. All right. We have the backside of a board. But these screws are going to have to come out probably. So. Oh well, we'll figure that out in a minute. All right, now, remember we looked inside of this when I was doing the first rack, and we saw that it was really a bunch of stuff inside of here. So let's figure out how we're going to get all this out of here. So there's one of the boards that slid right off of a backplane board. More good components here. Big aluminum heat sinks, transformer. We've got some old tantalum capacitors here. So more of these transistors with aluminum heat sinks. So nice stuff here. Another board that slides out pretty easily. You know, and all of these little holes, they slide down into these gold pins. Can you imagine how delicate you had to be slotting these things into place? All right, we saw this board already. And, oh man. I mean, let's see, you want to come out? I think you will. There we go. So some nice ICs on here. Oscillators, probably a tantalum capacitor from the looks of it. Then here you can see this big old knocking transformer. Another great big capacitor. That's gonna be a nice coil of copper right there. Let's see. Let's see. I wonder if maybe all I got to do is get these wing nuts. Wing nuts. Jeez. Yeah, I feel like a wing nut sometimes. These nuts. Maybe those are what's holding this plate on here still. Yep, that was it. Now it's just the wire. Come on, baby. You know, if you squint and hold your mouth just the right way, it works for some reason. I don't know. Oh, man. All right, let's see. Got these flatheads we got to deal with again. I think I'm just going to go with my screwdriver. Take advantage of some speed. There we go. Much faster than the last time I did it, huh? Much faster. This little room inside of this thing. Some of these wires pulled out the way. Yeah, I bet this was a really expensive kit in its day, because even this board in the power board, this board in the power box has gold pins, gold connectors here and here for these switches, you know, gold plated connectors there. So man, can you just imagine how expensive this thing must have been in its day? Yeah, we got a lot of wire here. Right. Uh-oh, raining. Gotta put up my window. All right, so that's a lead acid battery. And we're gonna get this motor off of here. Well, it's a transformer, but it sells as a motor. All right, so nice big heavy transformer for a motor. And then we have another little motor down here. I'm not going to mess with that one. Just going to leave it where it is. All right, so that'll all go in shred. Well, for a power supply unit that's got some pretty nice stuff inside of it, sure beats what we see these days in PCs. I will probably break down all of these now. Just going to take me some time to get to all of them because each one of those racks had this module, this dual module. So I've got 4 of those that I have to break into. Alrighty, everybody, I hope you're enjoying this series on these racks. I'm trying to step through them in some sort of fashion that helps you all follow along with the major elements of these big power rack systems, so that if you ever get something like this as an opportunity, you'll have some idea what you're getting into. All right, y'all, we'll see you on the next one.